going to share with you a video clip of the exact moment that deranged Jack Smith admitted that his entire case against Trump was politically motivated. It collapses right in front of him, in front of the entire world. And it was an amazing catch by Greg Kelly, the reporter here. I'm going to share that with you. Also, CNN turns on Jack Smith. CNN points something out that's absolutely extraordinary about Jack Smith remaining silent when other truths arise. You're going to love this video. I'm also going to share with you Representative Wyoming Hageman just totally demolishing Jack Smith, as well as our main guy, Mr. Jim Jordan. We missed you, Jim. Haven't seen you in quite some time, but I'm excited to share this with you too. But first, check this out.
Requirement, yes.
And didn't you also acknowledge in your deposition that the president was receiving information from multiple advisors, Giuliani, Eastman, Clark, Powell, and in your deposition you said he was almost just regurgitating what they told him. Isn't that right?
I don't believe I said he was regurgitating what they told him. I think what I said is that he was making knowingly false claims, that he was believing anything that would keep him in office, and he was rejecting.
Right there! Busted!
Isn't that right?
I don't believe I said he was regurgitating what they told him. I think what I said is that he was making knowingly false claims, that he was believing anything that would keep him in office.
He was believing.
He was believing. You can't believe and make false statements at the same time. He could believe whatever he wanted. And a lot of us believe he was right.
He never had a case, and he knew it. Prosecute this man.
So this was a really great find by Greg. I really give him kudos to this because we all believe now that all the facts have come out, all the evidence has come out, everything that happened in Fulton County, in Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, Colorado. I mean, they just keep coming more and more. California, forget about it. And there's no way. I mean, just using logical. I mean, this channel is all about common sense. There's no way in 1,000,000,006 years you could ever convince moi and a lot of us smart, intelligent, hardworking Americans that vegetable in chief Biden got 15 to 18, maybe 20 million more votes than Barack Obama, the Black Messiah. There's no way. Impossible. Does not happen. Hasta la pasta. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Now, check this out. I got to share this Jim Jordan clip first before I share with you the wholly stunned room after Representative Harriet Hageman totally just throws Jack Smith into the gutter where he belongs. But I think this clip is going to give it a little bit great contextualization because it has to do with Cassidy Hutchinson, who now is completely disgraced and discredited in front of the J6 committee, which, you know, it's proven that she lied. She was a disgraced witness. And listen to Jim Jordan dragging Jack Smith through the Cassidy Hutchinson tunnel, pointing out the fact that not only was it a tall tale, but that Jack Smith ran with it and he wanted to get this trial going before Trump and the election took place. Watch this.
Mr. Smith, is Cassidy Hutchinson a liar? She was their star witness, January 6th committee, their star witness in one of those staged and choreographed hearings they paid the former president of ABC News to put together. She was, in fact, the only witness at this special prime time hearing, Tuesday, June 28th, 2022, 8 o'clock in the evening, and she told some stories. I mean, these were some stories. She talked about President lunged across the back seat, grabbed the steering wheel, tried to drive the car to the Capitol. And I just want to know, you think she was lying?
Chairman Jordan, my assessment of that particular issue is that with respect to the testimony about the president lunging towards the driver, my recollection of her testimony about that is that it was secondhand. She had said she'd heard that from somebody.
You familiar with the name Tony Ornato?
I'm sorry?
You familiar with the name Tony Ornato?
Yes.
White House Deputy Chief of Operations, Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations, right? You remember what he said about it?
As I sit here right now, I do not.
Yeah, he said it didn't happen. How about Bobby Engel? You familiar with that name?
Yes, I am.
Secret Service agent who was actually in the car that day. You know what he said? He said it didn't happen. And they both said the first time they ever heard this story was when Ms. Hutchinson testified in the primetime hearing as their star witness of the January 6th committee. By the way, did you ever confirm her testimony about this particular incident?
We conducted, as I said before, our own independent investigation of all aspects of the case that we thought was relevant. We, attorneys from my office.
Did you ever confirm it? That's a simple question.
Well, we interviewed her, I should say, attorneys in my office before.
Did you ever confirm the president leaping across the seat, grabbing the steering wheel, this whole concoction she brought up in the January 6th hearing? Did you ever confirm that?
Right. We interviewed another firsthand witness who was in the car who did not confirm that had happened, but also
in your deposition to the committee last month, Mr. Smith, you said this: my recollection with Ms. Hutchinson was a number of the things that she gave evidence on were secondhand hearsay. You remember making that statement to us last month in the deposition?
I did, and I was referring particularly to what we're talking about now.
Yeah, and you also said Ms. Hutchinson, regarding this particular claim, was a second or even third-hand witness. We asked you, if you were a defense attorney, how would you handle cross-examining her if she was on the witness stand? And you said, if I were a defense attorney and Ms. Hutchinson were a witness, the first thing I would do was seek to preclude her testimony because it was hearsay. You remember saying all that?
Yes, that's correct, sir.
That's correct, right? Were you going to put her on the witness stand if you ever got to trial?
We had not made final determinations as to who we were going to call as a witness. We had a large...
You were still considering her?
We had a large choice of witnesses in this case.
Are you familiar with what Washington Post reporters Carol Leonnig and Aaron Davis said in their book? They did this book, 300-some pages book on Chronicle and the whole investigation at the Justice Department. And here's what they said on page 310. They said, Jack Smith had wondered whether some of Hutchinson's claims might be relied upon at trial. Still, at one point, Smith told the elections team he wasn't ready to give up on Hutchinson's account. Ultimately, however, Trump administration officials uniformly, fiercely disputed her accounts under oath. Prosecutors on your team told Smith they wouldn't want to use Hutchinson as a witness in court, and Smith agreed. Are Carol Leonnig and Aaron Davis, who wrote this, are they lying?
My recollection is that I certainly had not made any final determinations about who we were going to call.
And that's the point. That is the point. The fact that they used her in a primetime hearing and you won't rule out using her, didn't rule out using her, putting her on the witness stand when everybody knows she wasn't telling the truth, that says it all. That's the degree the left and Democrats were willing to go to get President Trump, putting on the witness stand someone everybody knows is making it up. Everybody knows that. And you were willing to do it. By the way, you know how many times Cassidy Hutchinson was mentioned in their report, the January 6th report? Any idea, Mr. Smith?
I do not.
185 times. Someone that the whole country knows wasn't telling the truth, and you were still considering putting her on the witness stand because you had to get President Trump. And everybody can see
all the footage, the January 6th police, the Capitol, Steve's son, the Capitol Chief Police of Washington Capitol Metro, even admitting that he pleaded with Nancy Pelosi for over 2, 3, 4 hours. Please, let's get the National Guard here. And Nancy Pelosi waited till the last second because she wanted it all. This was all an architected coup d'etat. That's what all this was. You got to share this with everybody. And it gets worse. Wait till you hear what CNN, they actually call out Jack Smith. This is the woke media apparatus that lies literally. They call them the Communist News Network. They lie all the time. Even they're like, whoa, this is going a little too far. But first, I have to play you this awesome clip of Jack Smith just getting torched by Wyoming Representative Hageman. Check this out first, and then don't go anywhere. Come on back.
I'm going to provide you with the Cassidy Hutchinson testimony as part of the trove of documents that you received.
As I sit here now, I don't recall, but it would.
Well, you're familiar with her testimony, aren't you?
I am. And
And in fact, wouldn't you agree with me that Ms. Hutchinson's testimony, especially the most explosive allegations made, was comprised of hearsay upon hearsay upon hearsay? Come on, you're an attorney, Mr. Smith. You can answer the question. Of course it was hearsay. And hearsay isn't admissible in a court of law, is it? Why? Because it is inherently unreliable, and the victim or the target of a prosecution is not able to cross-examine. Isn't that correct? In fact, Mr. Smith, if you had attempted to walk into court with Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony, you would have been thrown out on your ear. No judge, no legitimate judge would have ever allowed the testimony of Cassidy Hutchins to be admitted in a court of law, would they?
I disagree.
Well, and then we've already talked about your record.
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady's time has long since expired.
One key point right there. So this is where CNN comes in too. He says, I disagree. I disagree. This is supposed to be the Democrats' golden boy, the guy who is going to be their white knight in shining armor to get the evil bad guy, former President Trump at that time. And he is saying on record in front of the whole world that no, absolutely debunked testimony, hearsay, which comes from third, second party testimony, is reliable. He disagrees that that's I have lawyers and attorneys. I've got a Supreme Court justice in my family. There's no way in a billion years, okay? There's no way in a billion years anybody would take seriously in a trial, especially any trial, but a trial of this magnitude would take seriously testimony from somebody like Cassidy Hutchinson, who has been discredited and disgraced. And Jack Smith says, I disagree. Check out what CNN said.
Good question, Brianna. The last congressman we saw brought up the fact that Jack Smith demanded a trial date 4 months out, 5 months out in a case involving 13 million pages of documents. There is no defense lawyer in the country who can constitutionally prepare for trial and defend his client on that short a time frame. And the implication was you were rushing to get this in before the 2024 election. Jack Smith did not defend himself, by the way. He didn't say a word about that, which I found strange. Yeah, it's true, right?
It's true.
Exactly.
I mean,
and he didn't defend
this
himself
case before the election.
Exactly. Right. And Jack Smith has always maintained this veneer that he never thought about the election. Of course he did. Why would you demand such a quick trial date?
You see, this is one thing that the Democrats will never understand. This is the reason why Trump won three elections, because he won in 2020. The Democrats will never understand this. You can be a little crass, you can be a little selfish, you can be a little greedy, you can play the game, which is predicated upon very specific rules that a lot of people who don't live in reality don't understand. But the difference is, you gotta be honest about it. You gotta be authentic about it. And Trump has that in spades. Authenticity wins the day every single time. Americans are one thing, if not anything, and they have amazing bullshit detectors, to quote Ernest Hemingway, inside their DNA. So when you start BSing us, we pick it up immediately. And it's an insult, maybe even the most gravest insult. When you lie to us, pretending that you're on this high and mighty righteousness horse of dignity and ethos, and you actually think that you're fooling us. That is the most gravest insult if we had to identify one. And Americans can't stand that. I mean, any human being shouldn't, but specifically, more to the point, us Americans. Tell us the truth. If Jack Smith would have said, you know what? Yeah, I did want to get this out before the election. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Trump. I felt that this was all legal. I felt everything I was doing was illegal. I felt everything he was doing was illegal. And you know what? Yeah, I wanted to get it out before the election. Yeah, I probably would have used an unreliable witness. I would have done everything in my constitutional power to get this guy because I love my country. If he would have came at it that way, but that's what they don't understand. See, the Democrats, and nobody knows this better than I do, they're all academics in sheep's clothing. And academics think they're above you. They're above me. They're elitist. They look down their nose at all of us. They even think they're above God. Try talking about God to a Democrat. They will look at you like you're from the Stone Age, and they will look down on you. They don't have a moral compass. They invent their own morality because they think they know better than you or I. So that when they lie, when they're deceptive, when they're corrupt and corrosive, they just think of that as, well, I deserve that. I'm allowed to have that because you guys are too stupid to know the difference. That's literally how they think. Their ego, their narcissism is bigger than anything you will ever imagine. And as I said before, nobody knows this better than I do. If you got some value out of this video and you want to see America win and you love America, tap that thumbs up. Our mission here is to make common sense go viral. You can help, and you've helped so many different times. Leave a comment, share this with everybody. Watch till the end, and let me know what you think. I love reading your comments. Let me know what you think. By the way, I'm starting a brand new segment that I'm going to call Comment of the Day, and I'm going to give you a live shout out on the air. So leave a comment. You might just qualify. I can't wait to hear from you. Don't forget to check out these videos coming up right now. Click this one if you missed that one right there. Watch that next. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It doesn't cost you a thing. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.